in the hushed corridors of medieval Europe, amid the fervor and fear of a world on the cusp of great change, there was whispered the tale of an elusive and magnificent kingdom somewhere beyond the known world. This was the fabled realm of Prester John, a monarch whose legend was more resplendent than any crusade, whose kingdom promised riches, enlightenment, and divine virtue. It was a story woven with the threads of Christian mythology and Eastern wonders, captivating the imaginations of kings and commoners alike. The mystery of Prester John's domain emerged around the 12th century, growing from a letter attributed to the king himself, addressed to Byzantine Emperor Manuel I Komnenos. In it, Prester John described a vast and wondrous land filled with rivers of gemstones and lakes of healing waters. His kingdom was reportedly situated somewhere in the Orient, beyond the Islamic world, where Christianity had taken root against all odds. This missive passed from court to court, fed the hunger for exploration in a continent burgeoning with ambition. As the whispers grew, so did the maps, etched by the hands of those who sought to document the edges of known countries. Cartographers began marking territories believed to be the boundaries of this mythical kingdom. Yet, with every map, the certainty of its location became more elusive. South of India, north of the African mountains, and sprawling into the Chinese empires, Prester John's land seemed to dance just beyond the grasp of medieval explorers. These were times where fact and fiction melded, where trade routes served not only as pathways for goods, but also for tales. Marco Polo's accounts of the East fueled further speculation, teasing the possibility that such wondrous realms might indeed exist. Reports of magnificent Asian empires, from the grand court of Kublai Khan to the intricate splendors of Mughal palaces, only heightened the collective longing for confirmation of Prester John's existence. Through the wavering veils of time and interpretation, Prester John's kingdom became a beacon of hope and curiosity. A medieval mirage, its ephemeral nature reflected the real and imagined yearnings of the age, seducing adventurers to seek the unknown, much like the drawing star of Bethlehem that once guided seekers to a sacred birthplace beyond their comprehension. The winds howled across the barren expanse of the Central Asian steppes as the shadows of a dozen riders stretched across the sun-baked earth. Led by an enigmatic guide whose knowledge of the terrain was unmatched, a group of medieval travelers followed a path long forgotten by time. The scent of distant fires and the muffled buzz of emerging marketplaces beckoned them ever eastward, towards lands steeped in mystique and rumor. However, the search for Prester John's mythic kingdom was not merely a geographical quest. Instead, it mirrored a spiritual and political odyssey for the medieval mind. For centuries, the tales of Prester John, a Christian monarch reigning over a realm of untold riches and spiritual purity, held European imagination captive. This was a beacon of hope at a time when the known world's edges were frayed by wars and crusades. Meanwhile, amid the chaos of Mongol conquests and the Silk Road's bustling, Marco Polo and other explorers ventured further into Asia. Their accounts, although tinged with the embellishments of distant lands, often whispered of magnificent palaces and cities that seemed to hover between reality and legend. Among these stories lay the persistent echo of Prester John. Marco Polo himself recounted meeting with Kublai Khan, who told him of a Christian king known to rule a remote land, an allusion, perhaps, to the enduring legend that seeped into every corner of Asia. Yet as more scholars and adventurers strained to verify these tales, the quest's futility became evident. The letters from Pope Alexander III, earnest in their inquisitive tone, reflected the frustrations of a papacy longing for allies in distant lands. The lines between myth and reality blurred further when artifacts, supposedly from Prester John's realm, reached European shores. Each item, whether a ceremonial goblet encrusted with unfamiliar gems or a crude map hinting at river worlds, fueled the fires of speculation. Nevertheless, the legend persevered, evolving with each retelling, an ever-shifting mirage on the horizon of history. Scholars today ponder over the vast tapestry of documents and artifacts, weaving theories that intrigue and perplex. Was Prester John a purely mythical construct, or a distorted memory of the Christian communities nestled deep within Asia's folds? Thus, as darkness falls across the steppes, and the travelers rest beneath a star-blazoned sky, one is left to wonder. Did the true kingdom of Prester John ever exist? Or was it merely the embodiment of an eternal search for hope and unity? The mystery endures, like a half-remembered dream, clinging to the mists of an ancient dawn. As we close the pages on the captivating saga of Prester John, we are reminded of the profound human yearning to discover, to believe, and to connect worlds separated by vast oceans and impenetrable mountains. This legend, woven through medieval chronicles and echoes of distant empires, continues to intrigue and inspire, challenging us to look beyond the known and question the myths that shape our history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and lore. If you found this exploration enlightening, Please like and subscribe to support further voyages into the mysteries of our past. And remember, sometimes the greatest legends are not just stories of what was, but invitations to imagine what could be.